Hey everybody, today on Experimental Kitchen, I'm going to teach you how to make a sweet dessert. Today we're going to make something that I like to call funnel crumbles. The reason why it's called a funnel crumble is because it's basically like a failed funnel cake. A funnel cake is when you pour a bunch of batter through a funnel into a bunch of hot oil, and it kind of makes this weird like cake type thing, and it just kind of swirls around and everything like that, okay, and it makes a cake. Now, a funnel crumble is basically when you mix the batter wrong and you make it a little too liquidy, and so that way when it hits the oil it separates into little balls of little crumbles, okay, and that's why I call it a funnel crumble. So I'm going to teach you how to make one of those. Now today the only thing we're going to need out of the refrigerator is some milk. Now before we start mixing anything up together, let's go ahead and heat up the oil.
Now this is the same oil that we used for the fried cheese sandwich, so you see we're just reusing the same oil that we used before. Now go ahead and turn your stove top up to high.
Let's go ahead and get everything we need out of this cabinet here.
Some white flour and some ground cinnamon. Alright, now we're just going to pour in a 1/4 cup of milk and we're going to scoop some flour out. Now we're not going to measure the flour because we're not exactly sure how much flour we're going to need. So we just put in some flour and we're going to stir it up, and we're just going to keep adding flour and stirring it up until we get the right consistency. The consistency that we're looking for is a little more watery than pancake batter. Alright, now that we have the right consistency, let's put in the ground cinnamon and just stir that up the same way we stirred up the flour and until it's all mixed up.
Now it's time to put the batter into the oil. Now what are we going to use to do this? Well, we could use a funnel, but I like to have a little bit smaller hole on it, okay? So then that way it's guaranteed to crumble up instead of just go out into a regular old funnel cake. In order to do that, we need to make our own funnel. So I'm going to use this water bottle.
Now what you can do is just cut the top of the water bottle off with a knife, and after you're done with that, you just take the lid off and you poke a hole right in the middle of the lid. Now after you're done poking the hole in the middle of the lid, then you can screw it right back onto the water bottle and you have your funnel. After the oil is hot enough, you can just turn the heat down a little bit. Alright, now put your strainer in the oil and you're going to start pouring in the batter. So go ahead and pour in the batter. Sometimes you have to shake up the bottle a little bit to get the batter to come out. Now you're going to want to stir it up with something. I'm using a butter knife. You can use something else if you want. But just stir it up, and this will keep the batter from sticking together, and it will keep it from sticking to the strainer. And just stir it up until you're done pouring stuff out, and just shake it up until it's finished cooking. After it's finished cooking, just shake it around a little bit outside of the oil to get all the extra oil off of the funnel crumbles.
Now these funnel crumbles here, they taste really good by themselves. But it's just not the same as like a funnel cake. You know, these things should taste like a funnel cake. You know what's missing? You need some icing on this stuff.
Now let's grab some powdered sugar, and we're going to do the same thing we did while trying to make the batter. So I have a teaspoon of milk in this bowl, and I'm just going to pour some powdered sugar in there and stir it around. And I'll keep on adding powdered sugar and stirring it around until I get the right consistency. The consistency we're looking for is about the same consistency as the icing that you would put on cinnamon rolls. So if you're familiar with that at all. Anyways, it should just be not super thick, but pretty thick and still liquidy at the same time. And that is the consistency we're looking for.
Alright, so here comes the fun part. You got your funnel crumbles and you got your icing. Just go ahead and pour your icing all over the funnel crumbles just like that. And we could just eat it like this. No, but I've got bigger plans in store. Put the lid back onto your funnel crumbles and then start shaking it up. Shake, shake, shake. Now, you'll notice as you start shaking it up that the funnel crumbles are starting to clump together a little bit more. And that's exactly what it should be like. So just keep doing it until you got even coating all over the funnel crumbles. Now we could just start eating it like this, but no, I got something even better in store for these things. Cool. Now I'm just going to go ahead and put these right here inside of the freezer.
And after 5 minutes, it should be done.
Alright, so we got our funnel crumbles here and they're awesome. Okay, so check these things out. Just like here, just take a good, close look at the thing. Okay, look at that. Now those are some good eats right there. Now, you can just eat these just like this, you know. They're nice and crunchy, they're nice and sweet, they're nice and awesome because they're just awesome and they're just so cool. Now, one thing I've been wanting to do, since they're all covered in icing and everything like that, I wonder if you can squish it all down with your hand like this. Alright, get it all nice and compact. And then grab your plate here and flip it over. I did it. Alright, so there you go. Now does that not look awesome? Alright, so these things are delicious and I've been making them for a while and they're just like, you know, it's one of the best original desserts that I've ever come up with. So, if you have any more suggestions for awesome desserts you want me to try out, then go ahead and leave a comment below and tell me about that thing, okay? Go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that way you can see all my videos that I make when I make awesome, crazy desserts just like this one. Now, I'm going to devour this thing because it's awesome, or maybe I'll just eat it, but anyways. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on Experimental Kitchen.